welcome to the program. This is Our Healthy Homes, where we explore the 4 pillars of a healthy home that create a healthy life: the strength of your home's structure, the balance of your home's ecosystem, the vitality of your body, and the peace of your emotional and spiritual well-being. I'm Keith Hittner Sr., along with the lovely and talented Sheila Hittner.
Do you have to read that?
I do, so I get it right. Each week we dive into practical tips, trusted wisdom, inspiring conversations that help you build your home and your life that will thrive from the inside out. So did you want to repeat that now, Sheila?
No, that's okay. You did a good job.
Yeah. Thank you very much. All right, Frank Mendez is on the big program today, but before we get rolling on that, Sheila's got a bunch of announcements to make.
Yeah, I don't know where to begin. My segment's always so short. So go to ourhealthyhomes.com, hit the events tab, see what we've got coming up. We've got painting parties, charcuterie board making, craft weekend. We've got a couple of guests that we've had on the show before, Patty Carroll and Wayne Rohde. They are going to have a discussion around the vaccine and the policy changes and what that looks like and what we need to know. And that is Tuesday, October 7th at the Mansion. So go to ourhealthyhomes.com, and you do need to register. They're going to really go off the registration list.
Okay.
So please.
So if you don't register, is there going to be a problem?
Well, it depends on the seating because, it is our place. So,
it's limited.
Yes, it's limited. So check that out. And we are off on our Slim to Win challenge.
Mm-hmm.
So that has closed. And so we had a great meeting. We've got a good group. And I'm excited to see where that goes, and we'll share the progress with you along the way with the next 90 days. And the thing that I wanted to hit on today was so many people don't know how to use their essential oils, and I mean even down to supplements, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or when their tummy gets off,
mm-hmm.
how to correct it because they went on vacation and they ate
Yep.
whatever
Happens.
the reason is,
Happens.
right? So it happens that the digestive system gets off track. So how do we put that back together? And
I always get a little constipated when we go someplace.
That's normal.
Is it?
That's pretty normal. Yep. And so it's as. And it was a reminder to me yesterday when I was talking to my niece, who her daughter has hand, foot, and mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because that's going around the
hand, foot, and mouth.
Yeah, it's going around the daycare.
Hand, foot, and mouth.
Yeah,
really.
And so I've given her things to use, and I said, did you put that lavender on her? She's like, no, and so it's like we want to be able to teach you. That's our main goal as far as ours, Keith and I, our team, to really teach you how to use these, right? And I truly believe that people have them sitting on the shelf at home and they don't know how to use them. So with that, we do it in so many different ways to educate you because everybody just has different modalities on how they learn and how they want to be kept in touch and so forth. So when you're a customer, every month you get 2 samples mailed to you with a description of what they are, how to use them. We have 2 Zooms a month where you can come on and ask any question you want. We go over those products of the month. And in there, I recently started with a protocol every month. So I just started with the first one in the book. And I mean, I'm not a doctor, right? But I mean, I use resources that
mm-hmm.
I have from people that are,
yep.
right? That give us the direction on how to use these things.
They call them books.
Yes, they do call them books, right? And so in the newsletter, then I am putting protocols in there every month.
Okay.
Digestion, whatever, liver, it goes on and on. All right. This month, if you're on Facebook, we are doing a Oil October Fest. And so it's 10 days starting. It started October 1st, but you can you can still join in. And you need to know who invited you, because you're going to push the join button, and so you need to use Sheila Hittner as your person that invited you. And every day we're giving away prizes, we're putting in education, and you can go back to all those posts. And I think the first one was like sleep. Mine is later this week is going to be on the joint health, because obviously I've done everything natural with my knee injury. And so, I mean, you have monthly samples being mailed. You have these Zooms. You have these groups that we do. There's just so many ways to be able to feel comfortable and educate you on how to use something safe for you, your kids, and your pets. So we do have a whole pet line. We have one of our team members going to Utah to the animal conference. So there is an actual animal conference that they will learn how to use these essential oils on horses, birds, cats, dogs.
I think that's when people don't realize how beneficial the essential oils are for your pet.
Yeah, because if you're using the Glade plugins and the candles and the Scentsies and like all the things that have the toxic parabens and all those fragrances in them, especially the ones that are plugged into the wall where you've got your kids and your pets down on the floor and they're so close to it and it's just spraying out, spraying at them. And I mean, we are truly blessed with the healthy dogs that we've had, and I contribute that to our house, right? Because we diffuse all the time, we get all the chemicals out of the air. Your inside air is 10% more toxic than outside, and so they're not. I'm washing their beds, right? They're not getting the beds washed from dryer sheets and all the things. And so you hear so many people that have a dog that's 2, 4, 6, 7 that's got cancer and diabetes, and they're giving them injections and all, like the list is just on and on. But it's also us too, right? That's a thing for us too, as far as people in this world. But I mean, Steel and Stone, they were 15 and 17, didn't have any issues. I mean, Stony Boy had a little rough life, with a tick bite that took his eye. But and Steel towards the end at 17, had little bladder loss, and so he just wore diapers. But I mean, it wasn't like it was the cancers and the tumors and all that kind of stuff that we as people have, and that our pets have and our children's have. So you can switch over, and the perception that it is more expensive to do that is so false, because once you learn how to use them and dilute them, you are going to be actually saving money. Now, one of our pillars is the emotional well-being.
Emotional and spiritual well-being.
Okay. So we are going to handle that. Keith and I, we are going to up it when we go to Ecuador. So we are going to Ecuador, which is Young Living's farm, and they also have a spa there. And so we are going to see the doctor, and they are going to give us our prescription of our, our supplement or our vitamin IVs and, whatever else that they suggest, based on our live blood test analysis and our dried blood analysis, and then whatever else that the doctor...
I fully expect I'm going to come back with black hair.
He has gray hair, if you don't know.
And, sculpted.
A lot of us. But, the thing is that you think you feel good, right? We feel good, right? I think I feel good, right? Well, we
you don't know how good you can feel until you feel better.
Exactly, right? And so Young Living in July came out with the new daily hormone supplement. And of course I'm taking it, but I think I feel good, right? Well, if you were to ask me, Sheila, do you think you have brain fog? I would say no. I don't have any. Well, since I've been taking it, it's an awareness, and it's like, ooh, maybe I did, because I feel such clarity, like a little bit more clarity in just a couple of months. We've had some great testimonials on the daily hormone supplement, and it's for anybody 18 or older. So go to ourhealthyhomes.com, click on the events tab, give me a call, 651-775-9194.
Just a quick story of how it's so important to know stuff. I got a little burn, looking for some lavender. Wasn't any lavender there, but there was some lotion that I knew had lavender in it. Put that lotion on, super duper.
Yep.
Fix it right up. We'll be right back on Our Healthy Homes, building stronger homes, healthier bodies, and happier lives. So don't touch that dial, 651-775-9194. That's the Healthy Home Hotline. Give it a ring-a-ling-a-ling. We'll be right back. Hey, welcome back. Thanks for sticking around. This is Our Healthy Homes. Let's pick it off where we left off, exploring the 4 pillars of a healthy home that strengthen your body, your home, and your life. We're talking water, one of my favorite shows of the year. We have Frank Mendez on the program, Mr. Water himself, and we're going to be talking about water. So important. Everybody needs it. Everybody drinks a little bit of it. Sometimes you think you should drink more. I drink tons of water. I'm a water
Yeah, right.
Hey, I just rinse it over some coffee beans is all.
Yeah, it doesn't count.
Yeah, and then last night, you notice what I was drinking?
No, I did
in
not.
the room? I had a glass of water.
Well, you did have water playing pickleball. I saw
And
you
I had
taking
water.
a couple drinks during pickleball.
Slammed down probably a whole, well, at least a quart while we were doing. I drank the whole
Well,
thing.
you're moving around like a bunny on the court, so
Yeah.
you need it.
So, but I like water, and I think people are confused about water.
Yes.
So I just listed a house in West St. Paul, and we never use in the restaurant in Eagan. You have to have a water softener because it's like rocks coming out of the faucet.
Yes.
And you commented I had a problem with my distiller, and you said you must have the worst water in the state.
We do
because of the sludge that was in that distiller.
The scum, right? The scale.
And in West St. Paul, we never had to use a water softener because the city does it. Okay. Well, that's just a matter of who's running the water softener, not that you don't need water softener. And city water, a lot of times when you run it out of the pipe, you can smell it.
A lot of chlorine, a lot of other chemicals.
Yeah,
too.
it doesn't smell. Water shouldn't have an odor.
Especially when you first open up, you'll smell it, and you'll know that there's something suspicious about that. Why does it smell?
So can we just talk about the different kinds of water, like the fresh artesian well water, or the water that you suck out of the river, and the water that's going through a reverse osmosis, and the different kinds of ways that we can try to get to pure water?
Sure, but the word that you need to really look at to identify it was distilled water. And you were drinking a lot of water, but I know it's distilled.
Yes, it is.
Because I knew that you were someone that didn't drink water at all.
Mm-hmm.
Because it just tasted bad. Something in your body told you that it was unhealthy for you. Maybe it wasn't unhealthy. Maybe it's the taste that was your alert button. But because of your alert button, you didn't drink water because there's a lot of things in that water that you're drinking. So I know Sheila had a lot to do with that and bringing me onto the show.
Right.
Because she's so holistic about everything. And she basically, I think she must have just forced you to listen to someone like me on the show.
Well, sometimes you just go along with it.
So you don't have to.
Yeah.
So I know that there's just so many issues with that, but the key word is distilled water. So it's so easy for us to say we should be drinking water, and this offers a point of conversation. When you say distilled water, people are alerted to it because they think that's for a machine, isn't that for a steam iron or something like that? You're not supposed to drink distilled water. Well, okay, if you think you're not supposed to take or drink distilled water, why do they put it in your IV that goes directly to your heart and your brain, directly into you? And that's because whatever they want you need, whatever your body needs at that point, it needs to have clarity, not bring toxins to you. And distilled water goes right into your heart and veins. So if something goes directly to your heart, do you think it might be a good thing to drink? So it's real simple.
To cook with, to drink, all of the...
To cleanse. It's a great cleanser. If you wanted to clean a window, you don't clean window with dirty water. The cleaner the water, or the less scum or scale or total dissolved solids you have in it, the cleaner it's going to be. And it's going to be more aggressive, too. In other words, it's going to clean whatever it is better. So it's going to... What does that mean for us?
Right.
It's going to detoxify us. But even more important than that, or as important, it doesn't toxify. It doesn't make us poisonous, because what's in your water today, and this is what people don't really realize, and it still makes me sad, and they're just stunned when they take a look at to see how many things that they've added to protect us, our water supply system. They realize that over 98% of the rules or a testing that they do was predicated and drawn up before World War II.
Okay.
Now look at all the chemicals, all this. Look
yes.
at all the things that we're learning
The
today.
forever chemicals,
Yeah.
all of the stuff, right?
They're all in our water. And is there a regulation to protect us from that? No, not in the situation. Are there alert systems? Yes. So we can respond to what we are alerted to, whether someone had told us that or our body has told us. Going back to you, Keith, now I knew you drank everything but water.
Right.
Right.
Really, you did.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
And you confessed that to
Yes.
me.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
right, exactly.
And then you started drinking distilled water, and you realized that your taste was your alarm system,
Mm-hmm.
and it protected you from drinking. So with distilled water, you'll drink more of it. And what happens in relatively a short length of time, you detoxify, and your body is going to want the good water coming on in, so you can detoxify the chemicals or the things that you're eating, either through where you're going out, or through your meals, or the restaurant that you're going, or the chlorine that you're drinking. So anyways, distilled water is something that I have to remind myself to say. Are you talking about
Instead of
distilled
just saying water.
or are you talking about artesian water?
Or bottled
Going
water
back to
or
your
whatever.
question.
So
Wait.
one evidence of distilled water is because that's all that's ever been in my coffee pot. And we have an espresso machine, so you put a little water in the tank in the back, and you run it.
I don't drink coffee,
and you
but-
run it through the thing. Well, the tanks in the back of other. I go into someone else's house and I see a similar machine sitting in there. I look at the tank, and the tank is all scummy. It's cloudy. The plastic is cloudy. It's scummy in there. And I look at my tank in my
Your coffee.
It's perfectly clear, like it was brand new. And I've never had to descale my coffee pot. Ever.
Exactly.
And we've had it for, I don't know how long I've had it, for almost 10 years.
And it's going to last longer because of that. And if your coffee pot lasts longer, you're going to last longer.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's really that simple to look at. If you, in respect to the advantages you have in drinking distilled water, there may be some other things you have to be concerned about. But in reference to what you're talking about, you're going to be a lot healthier, because our veins, our heart, all those areas carry that scum, becomes hardening of the arteries. It's called calciferous heart condition, which is another way to say a heart attack.
Mm.
And they don't say calciferous. You don't hear these simple words, because what that means is the dirt, the scum, the things you're talking about in that coffee pot were in you. Now you have a distiller.
Mm-hmm.
Now, by the way, he did go ahead and bought a distiller, and I know that it's.
And we got a good one, 10 gallons. We got a good one.
Right, but you saw the beating that distiller took from you. It took some maintenance, because there was a lot of scale and rock, and
Right.
I mean, who knows, rust. These are just the things you could see. It took out all the fluoride and chlorines and other things in there as well. So you saw what that distiller looked like. And sometimes I've had people go, well, that's a lot of maintenance. And I go, you know what? It's a whole lot more maintenance on you. We can take care of that. That can be cleaned, and it's letting you know that it has a problem.
You can either have that sludge in the distiller that you clean out and clean up, or you can have it in your liver.
In your liver, your guts, kidney stones, gallstones. You can't make stones. Oh, by the way, for some of the people that have kidney stones and that type of thing, going back to your first question, artesian waters, is you can't make stones out of cheese or milk. I had my father-in-law was told not to drink cheese and stones because he had kidney stone problems. Well, I told that doctor, he didn't want me to, and he got upset with me. But I spoke to the doctor. I said, how can you make cheese? How can you make stones out of cheese and milk? You're telling him not to eat cheese or milk or other things for the wrong reason. Maybe he shouldn't eat it for another reason.
Right.
So I'm not saying that's healthy for everyone. I'm just saying that's the wrong thing you're telling him. And so he would. So I said, the only way you can't make kidney stones out of that, but you can make kidney stones out of the total dissolved solid, out of the trash that's in your water. You cannot digest calcium that's in your water. You cannot digest finely powdered iron. That's going to be nothing but a heart attack for you, hardening of the arteries. But you do need iron to be transformed by spinach.
Sure. Now, you mentioned the smell, like people, smelling it. The water that's coming out of the faucet, right? Mm-hmm. Well, I truly believe that so many people truly can't smell or are really tasting because of the toxicity level that their body's already
exactly
in, right?
You're absolutely right.
Mm-hmm.
It's because of what they've been drinking,
exactly,
and what other things they may be taking that are causing that. Your food, so on and so forth.
Yep.
All right,
smell better? Call me.
Yeah. Stay with us on Our Healthy Homes. We're going to return after the break with tips to strengthen your home, your health, and your spirit as we continue on with the lovely discussion of fresh, clear, pure water.
Distilled
water. Our Healthy Homes. We'll be right back. Thanks for sticking with us. This is Our Healthy Homes, where structure, ecosystem, body, and spirit all come together in a healthy home and a happier life. Okay, here's what I get. We're talking about distilled water. We're talking about water. Mm-hmm. The best water, of course, is distilled water. Why? People say, oh, there's no minerals in it, there's no nutrients in it, and all that. My answer to that is, why is it that you have people that have a rain barrel out in their backyard collecting rainwater? What kind of water do you think that is?
Well, I can tell you why they're doing that, but I can tell you what the results might or might not be. With rainwater, they're thinking it's going to be, it's called a hydrological cycle. So, you can have a pool of sludge, toilet water. Mm-hmm. And in that, there's going to be moisture in that urine.
Right.
Okay, and the sun is up here. Mm-hmm. Well, the sun leaves everything behind.
Right.
And takes the water up. Okay, that is highly purified water, and it's distilled.
God's distilled water.
It's God's distilled water. Look it up in Job, and that's what He rained on this earth.
Right.
So that's what's happening right there, and so when you drink distilled water, that's what's happening. It's leaving all the contaminants behind.
Right. Pure H2O.
Pure H2O. So some people say it's too pure. How can it be?
How can anything be too pure?
Too pure. Or you need the minerals that come in water. Going back to that, well, they're inorganic. Your body can't digest them. It's just trash in your body. So I'm not so sure I answered your question.
No, that was exactly the point I was making. Is that rain barrel water in the backyard is distilled water?
Distilled water, but nowadays we have to add to that.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be distilled water. But because of our environment itself,
it's collecting stuff on the way
it's
down.
collecting, and it's picking it all up, and it's adding to the contaminant. Now, some people, if it's out there in the open, then it's catching it straight down. But most people will actually take it off their roof, and that has petroleum products in there.
Sure, so and then you're using Roundup and everything else around your plants, and it's all around the air and where you're at.
Right. So what the hydrological cycle is basically, if you want to look at its purity and its healthiness, simply look at as a rain-making machine, without it being recontaminated by our environment, or being contaminated by whatever's holding it, whatever the reservoir is for it.
Right.
So it's in its purest form.
Now, going back to that first segment that we were talking about our animals and how sick our animals and the dogs get distilled water too. I mean, that's what we feed them, right? We've got our distiller and we've got, the pitcher in the back, and we fill it up and we fill up their bowls. And so, I mean, they get it as well, right? And we cook with it, and I clean my fruit with it, and, all of the things, right? I think that when you start...
Can I add something
Yeah,
there? You
yeah.
said, excuse me. If you put your artesian water, your well water, which is your river water, your swamp water, your drainage water, your pond water, a dog may drink any one of that or all of them if that's all it has available,
Right.
of course.
Because it's thirsty.
Yeah, it's thirsty. But if you gave it all those options and you put distilled water in the mix, if not immediately, the dog or cat would be drinking distilled water, because its body intelligence,
Right.
it's been gifted by the Spirit of knowing these things without reading a book, without Frank talking to him, without listening to the show. It knows those things, and it will pick it. So a lot of your animals, like large dogs and cats, and a lot of them are so sensitive to chlorine in our water and other things that are in the water. It's not just chlorine. It's not one thing. It's a whole handful of different things that may be in your water. And
remember, they're much smaller than we are,
Right,
So they're their bodies are much smaller as well. And it's the same kind of analogy that we always share with people, is that if you run your dog, and when they're overheated, if they have two dishes and one is distilled water, right? And one is distilled water with a little bit of peppermint oil, and they are overheated, they will go to the peppermint water because they intuitively know that that's going to cool them off.
And they didn't hear you say that before they read
Right.
the book.
right, exactly, right? They just know to go to that. I think the thing that people don't know, maybe people don't really believe, is that your tap water, you truly are getting the residual medication runoff from all of the people that are taking medications now, because those plants can't, the
Water, just purification plants?
Purification plants can't take everything out. So you are drinking tap water, you are cooking with it, all of those things. You are getting other people's crap.
Well, the thing I tell people is, how can you expect the government to take better care of your family than you can? You're the one to take care of that. So these different things that end up in your water, that's your responsibility. The government won't necessarily tell you that, because maybe they want a city to grow, maybe they want the state to grow, maybe they don't want land values to go down because there's water that's really questionable. So that's one thing that they don't talk about. Have you ever, when you saw Jaws, did the mayor talk about the sharks that are out there?
No.
No, why? Because it affects business and affects the life of people and tourism. All these things.
Let's talk about filtration, all these different reverse osmosis and all these different, systems that we see and people have in their homes.
The
and
refrigerator.
They're very proud of it, the different filters. How good are they at purifying water? Sheila said water purification plant. It isn't a water purification plant. It's a water filtration plant.
Filtration, you're right. And quickly answering that question, basically they go through sand filters. A lot of sand that they go through, leaving the silt and everything behind. It's like a cone effect, and it'll drain out through the bottom. Now that goes into another big container, and in that other large container, they let the water sit. So whatever dirt and stuff is still, or muddy cloudiness, it drops on down. And they pull from the top part like a lake. A lake on a Tuesday or Wednesday may look really clear. You look 4 or 5 feet down. On a Saturday or Sunday, you can't see 6 inches in it because it gets stirred up. So they do that. And then at that point, this is your treatment plants I'm talking. It's this simple. Then after that, need some clarity. Let's add some aluminum in there. Let's add some fluoride in there. Let's add a lot of chlorine to it. That's it. That's the treatment. Then now it comes to you.
Right.
Okay, so that's what you're getting. You're getting sand, filtered water with a toxin called chlorine that kills the bugs in there and maybe parasites,
And
bacteria.
The same ingredient that they used in World War I to kill people.
Yeah, and then you drink it, and then now you have digestive problems, heartburn, because you're drinking the same things that's killing everything else. So your good bacteria, you've just wiped it out. So there's just the things they add to the water. And by the way, someone says, "Well, Frank, blah 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 blah." They should do that, and they should clean it on up. Wait a minute, that's your responsibility. Let me tell you something. If they did and made the water to be
Our
to cleanser,
standards, yep.
then what it's going to do is scrub all the asbestos, all the lead, all the iron that's been building up. See, that pipe might have been that big when it first started, but now it's only that big because of all the scum that's inside of it.
That's how your liver and all
Right.
your kidneys and your organs are, because you've built up all of those chemicals and all those toxins, and that's why
They're
we
all
need
in
to,
the- they're all
we
in
need
the
to
water.
take the products that are going to scrub them out.
Yeah,
right, and clean
yes.
it.
Well, right now, if they did that, to be fair to the treatment centers, if they did that, it's going to clean all that stuff on out.
Sure, and then it's coming.
And for decades,
Right.
not a year or two, decades, it's going to be taking sickness to
Right,
you.
it's going to come.
Along with the chemicals that they put in there as well, so it's going to get much worse than better.
And some of that sludge is probably what kept those pipes from leaking at the joints. And so you clear it all out, and all of a sudden you got a bunch of leaky pipes.
Pipes, exactly.
Where can people go if they want, information on these studies and these treatment centers and like really how all of this
well,
works?
the big thing, and this is what they really
If they
need
don't
to
believe
do.
us.
they need to question it, and they need not to believe us. Say, let's prove me wrong. I challenge doctors all, you prove me wrong. And I said, I'll come to you with high school chemistry 101. You come to me with your degree, and I'll bet you I'll win if you're an honest man. And so that's really it is. They need to have that interest in it and realize that it should be a major concern for them. And to answer the question quickly, give me a call, 612-701-7820. We're waterdistillers.com. We're the #1 water distillation company in sales and repair and technical support in the nation.
Wow, that's great.
Coming up next, Our Healthy Homes 4 Pillars, one home, plenty of ways to make yours thrive. We'll see you right after the break. Hey, welcome back to Our Healthy Homes, ourhealthyhomes.com. Time to dive a little bit deeper into the conversation. I'm going to talk about water filters. We're building a stronger home, stronger bodies, stronger minds with crystal clear distilled water. But let's talk about water filtration. Because we see them in many houses we have for sale. They got the reverse osmosis and all that. Isn't that good?
It's better than what you had if you hadn't had it before.
Okay, better than nothing.
It's better than nothing. It's a step in the right direction.
Okay.
So I was one of those people that wanted to start off cheap, and this is a long time ago, 40. And it tastes better, so now it's better. So that was a filter.
Yeah.
Filter takes out a lot of odors and chlorine and things that make your water taste a little harsh. So because it tastes better, it doesn't mean it's better. It only tastes better. So I'm going to simplify this. An example: out of 100 drops of poison, maybe you got rid of 2. As an example.
Yeah, right.
You got 98 other problems. RO system. So a filtration system. That's one of those funny words. It's I could get a sock and pour some muddy water through it, and the water, it's been filtered.
Yeah.
It's been filtered by a sock.
Yeah.
So what is the media? I can go on and on about just filters because we sold those in order to survive, and we would tell ourselves, well, all we can do, they may not want distilled water, believe me, but we've got to leave them with better water that's affordable for them, that they believe in, that they're going to use them when we enter the door. Okay, so anyways, there's different levels of all these things I'm talking about. There's multiple levels. Some are better than others. Then you get into RO. So again, I'm oversimplifying this, but the concept is true. Out of RO water, maybe there's a lot of things it doesn't take out, like simple fluoride. Someone say, well, yeah, it does take it out. It says it takes out. All right, let's talk about that. takes out what, 1 drop out of 10, 2 drops out of 10. Taking out is a different word than remove.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So you're going to get the weasel words: takes out, makes your water taste better,
The marketing.
takes out. Baloney. Okay, now going back to RO water, with RO water, it's going to at best reduce.
And what does RO mean? Reverse osmosis, but what does that mean?
It's a membrane system
Okay.
that under pressure forces more water in there and leaves the contaminants on this side of the wall.
Okay.
Think of some holes here in your wall.
Yeah.
And if it's really big, it's not going to fit through those holes.
Right.
But if it's small, you can stick it through the hole. So think of a membrane as a system with a bunch of holes, but it only allows certain sizes to get through.
They're tiny holes.
Yeah.
But they're still holes.
Yeah, they're holes. Remember, so that's where the contaminants come through. So that's a simple way to really share it with people.
And chemicals and chemicals it does not remove.
And drugs, it does not remove.
Right.
The testosterone, the estrogen, the cocaine, the fentanyl, it all goes through those. Those are made for total dissolved solids.
Mm-hmm.
So those will all go through. You're going to get poisoned. You're going to put arsenic in an RO system, you're going to die.
Mm-hmm.
Put arsenic in your filtration system, you're going to die. You put arsenic in some water that you're going to distill, you're not. You're going to be totally fine.
And you touched on the testosterone, the estrogen, and those, but we are in such a high use fentanyl society.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's just so much of it out there.
It's blended in everything.
Exactly. And the weaker that our bodies get because of all the toxicity levels and the chemicals that we're taking on, we're not cleaning up and we're not getting rid of those simple things around the house, the cleaning products, your perfumes, like all of those things, right? So as the body bioaccumulates, we're just adding so much to that body bucket, right? That of all of these types of toxins that are coming in from so many different ways. And we're talking about how simple this one thing is to change, because that's people get overwhelmed, right? I don't know where to start with, changing my cleaning products. Just like we talked about in the first segment, like why I would use lavender over something else, right? This is just such a simple but big change that you can do for your body, your household. And it's a machine, so you don't even have to measure anything out, right?
Right.
And so as we go, the fentanyl deaths and the fentanyl poisoning and all of that people just don't realize it's in the water.
It's right. It's totally in the water, and if it's not in your water today, it'll be there.
Right.
I'm sure. I would ask someone as a challenge. If you want to have your water tested, and it costs a fortune, by the way, to do that. Let me know if there's no fentanyl in it. They're going to find fentanyl in your water if you've got a good water testing, no matter where you're at, because it's blended in everything. I mean, wood chips. I mean, there's so much of it that has come in that it's overwhelming. That when they confiscate one boat full of that, it's probably enough there to kill everyone in the United States. So what do? Is everyone drinking that? No, it's being put out there. Mix it with fertilizer. Do this. Go into your foods.
Yep.
Mix it. Put it in your wood chips. All these paper products. I mean, it can end up in everything and anything.
And this is probably trying to give an example for somebody of how to get their head wrapped around this fentanyl and all these other things, right? So my friend had a friend that had cancer. Okay, so that there's so many people that have cancer, right? So I think people are going to be able to understand this. And so she was giving fentanyl for some of her treatments. Now, my friend was helping her, taking her there, rubbing soothing things on her body when she was sore, and all the things. My friend saw a change in her mind and her body, and she contributes it to the fentanyl poisoning that was given through the cancer treatments from her friend, and she was
Just from contact.
just from contact.
Hmm. Yeah, it's that strong, that sensitive. So it's that exposure. And does it get built up in your body? Of course it can. Whatever you consume has a tendency, even if it's bad stuff, builds up in your body.
Right, 26 seconds, and those chemicals are in your body, and your skin's your biggest organ, and it has absorbed it.
Oh, what's amazing though is this: anyone who has diabetics and has that monitors with a button on it, they can tell, like in 30 seconds, in a minute, you can change the numbers that you have on your detector for diabetes.
Okay,
and it's
so
that quickly.
Speaking of skin, then what about whole house systems? I mean, how is it even practical to have a whole house water distiller? So I'm showering with distilled water, taking baths with distilled water, brushing my teeth with distilled water. Is that practical?
It is, if you have the income.
Okay, existing house. Okay.
And if your home is not yet built.
Okay.
Okay. For everyday reasons, it's impractical to do that because it requires such a system. But the focus should be on personal consumption.
Right.
But there's other treatment systems that you can to reduce your exposure.
Does the shower things help? Those shower.
Yes, they do. They do. Most of them at least
shower heads. Whatever.
Most of them at least take out chlorine.
Okay.
So your chlorine and takes out the gases and chlorine, so you're not inhaling it. And your skin isn't dried up. You don't get this Minnesota winter itchiness, skin flaking off. So they do help, but there's, again, so many different levels of it.
Oh, sure.
That you can get. You can start off from grade 1 to grade 10, 10 being the best in just that category, depending on what it does. But some people I know that have cancer are super sensitive to other things. What they do is they can't plumb it into their shower anymore. So what they do is get one of these wand pumps, and pour their distilled water in there, and they may hold 2 or 3 gallons. And you'd be surprised when you wand yourself. It's a little better than sponge bathing yourself, you might say.
Yeah.
But it's along the same lines of thinking.
But you can at least take a cup of water and brush your teeth with distilled water.
Oh, you want to, because you've got fluoride in there, and it's going to wash your mouth out, wash the fluoride out of your mouth when you spit it on out. But yeah, food and everything else. In a lot of homes that we've done before, people have these cosmetic places in their bathroom or in their bedroom, and they'll use that instead of astringents. They use distilled water to cleanse your face, and because that adds moisture to it, it doesn't dry your skin, and it cleans it just as well as anything else would be. In fact, maybe even better, because it.
So you're putting a distiller in the bedroom then?
You get
just give you a gallon jug.
Just dip your face in it and rub it well.
We'll cut it in half. You can dunk your face in it.
Stick my face right into the gas. There you go. Okay.
Rub it well.
Well, and why do you think that our essential oil diffusers require distilled water?
Right.
Because they don't want it to get gunked up, and exactly. So if you just think of something simple like that, it's like, well, just think of it gunking up your system, your body.
Frank, what's the website again?
It's waterdistillers.com.
See, that's a simple thing.
Waterdistillers.com. And the name is Frank Mendez. Okay. You can always, if you don't remember that, you can just Google Frank Mendez water.
Okay.
And you'll come to our site. And you can always call 612-701-7820. We call back.
Yeah.
That's what I always say. I'll call you back.
That's it for today's episode. Our Healthy Homes. Remember, a truly healthy home rests on 4 pillars: the structure, the ecosystem, your body, and the balance of your emotional and spiritual well-being. I'm Keith Hittner Sr., along with the lovely and talented Sheila, and we'll see you next week.
But when he calls me sugar, I love that man with all my might. Sugar in the morning, sugar in the afternoon. calls me that name, it does things to me. I tell him, honey, you can call